The story of the Pacific City Dory. For more than a century, boats have gone to sea from this sandy beach and shelter of Cape Kiwanda. There is no other harbor, port, or fishing fleet anywhere in the world exactly like this. It's truly unique how we evolved. The Dory's origins came from the turn of the 20th century surf dories and Nestucca River gill net boats that sold their fish to the salmon cannery established in 1887 near the mouth of the river. After 1927, commercial fishing was only allowed in the open ocean. Since the Nestucca had a shallow, dangerous bar, accessible only at flood tide, a new, larger surf boat was needed to be launched in the lee of Cape Kiwanda. This larger dory was called a double-ender because it was pointed at both ends. It had two sets of oars, able to be rowed through the Pacific surf and out to sea. Later double-enders had a motor well near the stern. Their small outboard motors were installed after negotiating the surf for fishing during the day and then removed when rowing back to the ocean. Once outboard motors became powerful enough and more reliable, the modern square stern dory was born. The modern Pacific City dory is open-hulled and flat-bottomed and is pushed or rowed into the Pacific surf until deep enough to drop the outdrive or outboard motor and then powered through the surf into the open ocean. Even with modern motors, many dorymen still row through the surf just as their fathers and grandfathers did before using their motors.
Okay, what is this down below?
Which part do you want read?
Well, Paul had it.
He's a dory boat builder. Huh?
Yeah.
Paul A. Hanneman. He's a doryman, a dory boat builder, Pacific City Dorymen's Association co-founder, Dory Derby Dory Days founding chairman, Oregon State Representatives 1965 to 1991, Tillamook County Commissioner 2000 to 2004.
Well, there are no dory boats out today, and we're going to take a hike up and see if the sinkhole has changed any up on top Cape Kiwanda. It's been about 3 weeks since we were here. It looks like there's been plenty of beach erosion here, right in front of the hotel. They've put some riprap here, but it looks like either it's sinking or else there's just plain not enough to keep the beach erosion from happening. There's little pieces of driftwood, sticks, and some trash drifted up above the riprap, so it's apparently not completely doing its job. Maybe it's helping some, probably, but when there's a big high tide pushed by a storm, it may not be enough. It looks like it's getting dangerously close to the front of the hotels, and some huge old logs have been cast up on the beach right in front of the hotels. Marge always likes to walk along the high tide line and see if the high tide has cast any treasures up. We see a shore pine that's been eroded away and slid down. Then we look over at the cape, and it's starting to erode some more too, it looks like. Some surfers are out in the surf. This has become a quite popular place to go surfing. And here's a log. I don't know where that log's been, but it looks like the sea has really worked it over. And of course, there's some kids playing in that ice cold ocean. I wish I was that tough now. But we're against the cape, and we're gonna hike up on the sand dunes and take a look at the sinkhole. We see parts of the old Coast Guard tower that slid down, and there it is, the sinkhole. And I see no difference in it at all from what it was maybe 3 weeks ago. The tide is coming and going and splashing in the little cove up ahead of us as we check out the sinkhole. All it has is the parks have put a little barrier ribbon around it, but nothing else. So I'm going to go up on top and see if I can look down in it, which I couldn't see down in it much farther than we were from down below. And it looks like Marge is walking on around the cape and will come out down below on the beach. By now, I'm completely on top of the sandy Cape Kiwanda, and I can have a good
I think that Coast Guard tower was right up above me right here, and that way they could look out over the sea to watch for submarines and enemy activity during World War II.
This is where the Coast Guard tower originally stood, to watch out over the sea.